This is John Doherty for the Gag Order Network. We are here at the Royale, downtown Boston. We are here with Real Big Fish. Gentlemen, introduce yourselves.
This is my friend Billy.
This is my friend Aaron.
And we have we've devolved into a comedy sketch, and I love it. Gentlemen, let's just jump right in. I don't want to take up that much of your time. I know you got a show very, very soon.
Too late.
Oh, well, if it's too late, then we're going to drag it out then. All right. First thing I want to know, you guys just did the Yahoo Live Nation. How did that come about?
I don't know, man. It was their idea. They called us up and said, can we stream your show live? And we said, surely.
We also did it 1 year prior.
Oh, I'm sorry?
We did it 1 year prior at the Chicago House of Blues. So
to the day.
Yeah. And I think we shredded, honestly, that
hard.
stream so fucking hard that Yahoo was like...
So hard.
Oh, my God.
What now, did they ask you to tone the shred down, or was it...
No, they just said, yeah, he was hammered.
In this day and age, so many performers are trying to stop people from filming their show and uploading it before they've had a chance to come and see you live, before they've had a chance to, buy the ticket.
Yeah.
Why go even above and beyond that and go onto an internationally well-known website?
It's pretty impossible to stop anyone from... Maybe in the old days, when video cameras were bigger, you could be like, hey, none of that. But nowadays, you can't take people's phones away. They wouldn't stand for it.
Tell that
check their Instagram every 2 songs.
Tell that to Dave Chappelle. Tell that to Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, so we want to get the word about our band out there.
Yeah,
so
it depends on the band too. Like, we're good. So when our live show's good, so it doesn't matter if you record it because fine. It's just going to sound fine. I think bands who have a little harder of a time getting their live show across, use more pre-recorded things, not as much, live raw energy. I think they're a little, well, how is this going to look when it comes across on video? Whereas you kind of know what you're going to get when you, it's not, and even if we do mess up, it's part of the...
Yeah, what are they hiding that they don't want people to see their show? It'd be so secretive. Nothing to hide.
Is it common for you guys to change per city? Do you add something, take something away, depending on where you are? And if so, what are you doing here for Boston?
We usually start out the tour kind of what did we do last time? What can we change? And then we kind of figure it out after the first week. So we're not doing anything special for Boston.
No, it's
going to be the same old shit.
Except the Bosstones are coming out, and they're going to play... during our set break, they're going to play 3 songs, their hits, the Depression That I Get and the other 2. And then we're going to come back on, so make sure you come out and see the Bosstones.
Well, here we go.
We're kidding, of course.
We're ripping into the Bosstones.
Somebody did ask us, though, one time in an interview about our song, The Depression That I Get.
Which serious. I love, by the way.
They're serious
Which
about
I absolutely love. We're here with Dickie Barrett. During the Live Nation show towards the end, you guys have a little fun. You guys, this is our hit from the 90s. Start playing Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Oh, yeah, that's
but towards the end, you started playing The Depression That I Get, and you kind of didn't do it justice. Do you want to apologize to the Boston ska fans for what you did to our boys? This is our home team.
The
LA, this is the home team.
That's the whole brilliance of the joke.
Is there
we start playing the song, we say it's ours, we don't even know how to play it. So that's they don't even know how to play that song. That's not their song.
Is there a close-knit community in the ska community? I mean, it's just such a...
Not that many bands.
It's not that many bands. It's that many bands.
There's only 900,000 ska bands, so we all are great friends.
Yeah,
we
exactly.
stay close contact all the time.
There's no East Coast, West Coast beef like hip-hop. Yeah. It's not
Can we start that?
I mean, I don't really want to.
Can I tell Dickie Barrett that you're coming for him?
I love and cherish all ska bands and want them all to succeed. All my friends. Wish we could take over.
When Real Big Fish started out, I mean, you were at the cutting edge of it. What were the bands that you guys were looking up to as ska bands? What was your inspiration in ska?
I when I was really little, before I knew even what ska was, I liked the English beat and Madness a lot. But then when I got into the actual ska scene and realized that there was this music called ska, like Boston's were my first favorite. Skankin' Pickle, Operation Ivy, Fishbone. The list goes on, but those were like the first ones, like, fuck yeah, that really influenced our first. You can kind of hear it on Turn the Radio Off, I think. Pretty much. I mean, we're not as good as any of those bands, but you see the influence, I think.
We got it on tape.
Some songs are just direct rip-offs. I won't tell you which ones, but
We'll find out after the camera's off.
take a listen.
Speaking of listening, gearing up for this interview, I went back and listened to almost your entire catalog, which is not a bad day,
That's
not
like
a bad way to spend your work.
800 songs.
I listened to 801, somewhere in there. The depression that I get slipped in.
Not in there. It's not
Somehow
in there, 'cause
slipped
it's not
in
us.
You must have had the Napster edition, like the folder.
Well, after going back and listening, something hit me after listening to you guys for over 20 years. I've been lost in the upbeat of the music, the horn section, the guitars wailing. When I've actually sat and went line for line through the lyrics, you guys are depressing as hell.
Yeah, never just listen to the lyrics.
It's from the beginning to the from go to the end.
That's the funny part. Get it? It's like dark, depressing, angry, hateful, sad lyrics, and then just the wackiest circus music ever.
Now,
behind it.
do you find yourself like when you're in a dark place writing that song?
That's
and then
just
you
the kind of
wait
person
till-
I am.
Is that? Well, then is schizophrenia the backbone of this band?
Exactly. It's called being bipolar.
Aaron, this is a quote from you, man. "We're not happy till you're not happy" was the third record in a trilogy that began with Turn the Radio Off. The first one about being in a band and trying to make it. Then Why Do They Rock So Hard was We've Made It, We're Rock Stars. Cheer Up was made because we had to make it, a record label obligation. But We're Not Happy Till You're Not Happy is about us being old and jaded now.
Boy, I sure do come up with some ridiculous bullshit, don't I?
And oddly enough, next to the quote, it said how many Heinekens you had. So, 47. But I think there's a period missing. It might be 4.7.
4.7
do you ever see yourself releasing the fourth album where you're old and happy?
Yeah, it's on its way. It's called It's a Beautiful Day.
It's a
Yeah, there's this rumor going around that we have an album coming out called Bloody Streets. And I don't know where this came from. I think it's on Wikipedia.
So at this point, like, you
And
should
people
just
even
do it.
asked in interviews, like, so your new album, Bloody Streets, when can we expect it out? And then one
You should say tomorrow.
it was like a teaser for the show coming up. It said, Real Big Fish is going to play songs from their new latest release, 2015's Bloody Streets. There's no freaking Bloody Streets. What the hell? Why would I name an album Bloody Streets? Our next album is going to be called Pick Up Sticks, Pixel Dicks.
We're just going to sit here
Or
and riff on
popular.
album names. Let's just keep going.
It's going to be a tongue twister, no matter what it is. Sheryl Crow quote. Baby pony boner.
Just gotta let them go.
Baby pony boner.
Let 'em go. You guys have gone through so many lineup changes. Is it tough?
Well, I got to bring up old shit.
Is it tough to keep the collective mentality of the band going when new members come in? Is it easy for them to just jump right in?
Yeah, it was, do what I say, and that's it. Everything will be fine.
Is that
No, I think we've always been really lucky to find really nice people and really good musicians who are just ready to take that spot and get in there. Like Johnny Christmas joined the band 10, 11 years ago. He was ready. He was waiting. He knew the songs. He was excited about it, so he came in. And same with Derek, Matt, Billy. Not that there's anybody now that's waiting. I think we're all set now.
you guys need a tambourine player?
I think the tambourine player we have is going to be with us for a long time.
I'll sweep the leg. Don't worry about that.
It's not like people are just coming and going all the time. It's like someone leaves, we find somebody who's just awesome and who's going to actually be a member of the band and play permanently. So,
No, was it intimidating? I mean, this is Real Big Fish, top of the ska world. Coming into it, when they asked you, were you like, yeah?
all he knows he's hot shit.
Oh,
Well, that, but also when I met them, when I was playing with Big D and the Kids Table and in the Pilfers and stuff, I was best friend. I was better friends with Dan Regan than anybody else in the band. So every day on tour, I would hang out with Dan. I wouldn't hang out with Aaron. I mean, I would hang out, but Dan was like my priority. He was their trombone player. So I was
talked about trombone stuff.
Yeah, exactly. That's one way to put it.
The conversations to be a fly on that wall.
So I mean, if anything, it was the awkwardest part about joining the band was not hanging out with Dan anymore. I'm in a unique position because I was born and raised on the East Coast. I still live on the East Coast.
Here.
I played in East Coast bands, played in Boston ska band, New York City ska band. I have a ska band in New Hampshire, and I'm now in a band with West Coast people. There's something to be said about touring with a band that's been around for 20 years. You're not with children, or young people who've never done this before, who are
the new people.
Trashing things anymore or breaking things anymore.
You like being in a band with calm, boring old men.
It's true.
Aaron, last year when we talked, we brought up the difference between the East Coast and the West Coast bands, and now you have somebody playing who's from the East Coast playing in the West Coast band. And I believe last year you said it seemed like the West Coast bands were more in it for the fun, and the East Coast bands took it a lot more seriously. Took the craft.
Definitely.
If you want to call it that.
At least when I first experienced the East Coast scene and got to know those bands, when we were in the Orange County scene, it was a little more relaxed. If you could make a noise, they'd let you in the band. I was in 3 bands playing trombone. I don't know how to play trombone. And that's, if you could make a noise and jump around on stage, you were in. I think in the East Coast bands were a little more you had to be a good musician to get in the band. You had to be good at what you did. Usually a lot of the East Coast bands had really awesome musicians and great.
Do you agree? I mean, does it feel like that to you?
East Coast, or West Coast is just woo! How annoying can we be and noisy?
East Coast, that sounds about right. Especially this area, the Boston area. It was very, especially for me, when I was forming a band or figuring out what kind of music I was going to play as a trombone player, you really had to try to find the right people, because almost on the East Coast you get to a point where some people are so, which I guess isn't a problem, they're so focused on their instrument, they're so focused on being this virtuosic person, they kind of lose touch of reality, and they lose touch of, the actual fun of being in a band. And a lot of the times I think it's easier to be successful if you just take yourself a little less serious, and priority, you got to be good at your instrument and stuff, but you can't be that guy. You can't be above everyone and actually have success in this, at least in this scene.
So you got to be somewhere between having too much fun and being too serious about, which is why all the bands in the Midwest are so good.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, coming in, I heard you guys warming up, and it sounds like we're going to hear at least one holiday song. Was that just a warm-up?
Every week we need to go through the Christmas EP so we can remember it.
Well, in 2014,
December's going to come around before you know it, and then we're going to have to play Christmas songs.
In 2014, you released Happy Scala-Days.
That's right.
Any plans in the future, more kind of themed albums? Well, we talked about the Hanukkah
Our catalog
album
is complete. We finally did the Christmas album. Now we have
and that's the only
a
holiday
well-rounded
we need.
catalog, so we're done. Why ever record anything again?